Hey folks, thanks for clicking on my channel. So today is another rainy day here at Kelly's Lawn Service. So we're going to do a little maintenance, not really on one of our landscape vehicles, but it's on my daughter's vehicle. So same difference. We have this lovely 2009. Don't worry about her. I don't know what's wrong with her. There's something wrong with that one. We have this lovely 2009 Honda Civic, and we're going to do an oil change on it today. So, we'll show you step by step what we do and how we do it and what you need to do the job yourself. Okay, we'll be right back. As you can see, we use two jacks because this is what we call it Janice anyway, but Janice is so low to the ground that you can't get the damn jack underneath it because it's challenging. So we put one jack on one side and one on the other side, which, because we have the two jacks, makes it easier, but you don't need to use two jacks. You can, if you want to come down here, and I'll show you where you could put one jack underneath the front. There is a support right here, as you can see it, and you can put one jack right underneath there to jack it up. But like I said, we have the two, so we use two. Okay, we'll be right back. Okay folks, so now once you get your car jacked up, like I said, we have the two jacks under here, and we have two jack stands under here. At least use one jack stand if you don't have two, and you really should have a chock behind the rear wheel, because you really don't want the car to fall on you. So this is what it looks like underneath this little Honda. Let's get some light over here. So if you follow the exhaust pipe over here, and you'll see a drain plug. There it is, right here. The drain plug, and there's your filter. Pretty easy to access. You don't even really have to go underneath the car totally, but we're gonna grab our filter wrench, aka channel locks, and let me get right back to you on the size of, sorry about the video, it's hard to do this underneath the car, for the size of this oil nut right here. All right, be right back. Okay, so it is a 17 millimeter socket for the oil drain plug, which is right here. Let me get that on there. I already loosened it. But now, years ago, I used to be able to take this oil drain nut off without getting it all over my hands. I don't know if I still have the ability or talent, but we are going to try and see if I still have it or not. So we're going to take this out. There it goes. And, oh, well, I got a little drop on my thumb, but I would say that's pretty good. I still have some kind of talent and skills. So we're going to drop the plug here. And we're going to check our washer on the plug. This is a metal one. It looks pretty good, but you should always change the washer on the drain plug because sometimes they're plastic and they smash and then they'll leak, and you don't want it to leak. So we're going to do that. We're going to let that oil drain out nice. And I could use two drain pans, but I'm going to only have one here for the filter. Let's see if we can get it. So I use this little tool here. It's an actual oil filter, adjustable, but you can use a plier or channel lock, or I don't know, if you're really, really strong, you can twist this off with your hand. I'm just not feeling really, really strong today, so I'm gonna do it like this. And we're gonna loosen that thing up and see. There it goes. There goes the oil. Okay. So I usually loosen it up and I just let this oil drain down for a bit, because otherwise it just gets all over your hands, and I try to keep my hands clean. We'll be right back. So then we just grab a rag here and we're going to loosen this filter. Try not to drop it and make a mess. And it looks like there's a lot of oil coming out of there. There we go. Pretty good. We got that. All right, we're gonna let that drain for a minute. We'll be right back. When you get your filters out, you know, eyeball them up, make sure they're good. Make sure you got the right one, because you can't always depend on the person in the parts store that they gave you the right filter, or if you looked it up yourself. Now here, there's a rubber seal on all oil filters. So when you take your old oil filter off, make sure the rubber seal came with the oil filter, because on some of the cheaper filters, this gasket will stick on the engine, and then you'll go and you'll put the new one on with the gasket, and then you'll have like a double gasket, which you just don't want to do that. So make sure the gasket comes out. Then I always use new oil, whatever. You put some oil on that gasket for the filter. If you want to be an overachiever, you can pour a little oil in this thing, because some people say, well, it takes time for the oil to get into the engine. I've never done that before. I don't put oil in the filter, but you can if you want to. So once you do that, you're ready to reinstall your oil filter and your oil plug. We're gonna go do that now. All right, so what I do is I take a rag where the filter, I don't know if you can see this. Can you see where the filter goes here? Up underneath there. Mm-hmm. I take a rag, I just clean the surface. Like I said, double check, make sure that your rubber gasket did not stick on there. And then to reinstall your filter, don't force it, just screw it on, just like that. And in all my years of doing this, I have always just hand tightened the oil filter back on, not use a wrench to tighten it. Plus the wrench usually smashes it. And then same thing here, make sure your gasket's good, nuts not stripped. And you will reinstall your drain plug here. Now, on this particular car, it's a 2009 Civic, this bolt right here is actually the drain bolt for the transmission. So make sure you drain the oil and not the transmission, because they're pretty close together on this car. Because if you do that, it just won't end up well. Okay, and we put I'm gonna move this out of the way just so I don't put my elbow in it. Then we put our nut back on. I torque it to a special torque. Yep, that's the special torque right there. Okay, and we are pretty much done down here on the bottom of the engine. It doesn't take long at all. I always like to try to wipe things off, kind of clean it. Sometimes people write on the oil filter the date and the mileage. It's always good to get a little paint pen. I didn't do it on this one today. I might do it actually, but you always can put that on there, and then that way whoever looks at it knows. Okay, so I think we're done down here. We're gonna come up. What I do is I just use the old oil container. I pour it right back in here. And you can either take, I know like AutoZone and Pep Boys, a lot of places will take the used motor oil back and they either burn it or do whatever, or usually your town or city dump has a place to recycle the used oil. Anyway, this is what I do with it. Put it in here and I cap it. Makes it nice and clean. Or we paint the fence with it, whatever. Truck sides. And that is almost full. All right. 2 jack stands just to be safe. So we're gonna put those here. And then we're gonna lower it down because we're done underneath. And I'll do one here. And I will do one here. I'm trying to go both. A little at a time. Right. And we'll get the other one there. A little fast. Little fast. Okay. We'll be right back. So for this year 09 Civic with the 1.8, we're using the full synthetic because that's what we use in this one. I think it's a 520. That's what it calls for. You got your little oil fill right here, and you put in, this one takes 5 quarts of oil. This is 5 quarts of oil. So we're just gonna go ahead and put in the whole thing, or you can put in like 4.5 and check it. But by the time the filter fills up, it's 5 quarts. All right, so I put in almost the whole container. And then this is a little dipstick. It's super easy to read right here. Can you get close? So this it doesn't have a low or high, it just has an X pattern. And you can see the oil. Let's drop it in there. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, maybe or maybe not, but you can see your oil level on those X's. So that's showing that it's full right there. You can always use a paper towel too instead of this dirty rag, so you can see the oil line. Sometimes it's a little difficult when it's clean to see where exactly it is. It's on there, but that's showing full. So we're good there. Okay. All right, last but not least, we're gonna take our funnel out. And here's our little cap. It's right back on here. And you'll see too, it tells you 520 motor oil. And you tighten that up, and that is how easy it is to change the oil on a 2009 Honda Civic. And then just for the heck of it, we always check one more time, which we will check it again. Also, it's perfect after we start it, and we'll shut it off. So that's the oil part of this job, not too hard. Next, we're gonna do the air filter, which is located in this box. And then we will do the cabin filter, which is located inside, and we'll show you how to do that and what you need to do it. Okay, so here's the air filter. This one just uses clips. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 clips, and basically you just use your thumb and you pop them off. Pretty easy to remove clips. That one is a little challenging there. I am gonna put this light somewhere so I don't have to hold it. Now, this one's a little tricky to get off because it goes into the tube there. And here is your air filter. Let's see, can you see it? It's pretty dirty. It's not terrible, but if you're outside in the sunlight, you can always take your filter, hold it up to the sunlight, and you can see, actually you can see, can you see the light through it?
A little bit.
You can see light through it, so this filter is really not that bad. But we're in here, and I think we have the right filter, so let's check and see if we have the right filter. So here's the new filter, old filter. Always make sure you have the right one. This one, if you look through now with the camera, you can see it through a lot. Anyway, we're putting the new one in, so make sure you size it up, thickness, square, thing size, looks all good. Let's pop in the new air filter, put it in the right way, remove leaves, put that in there, that goes there. And then when you put it back in, make sure you line up the intake tube there. This goes right there. This one, like I said, is pretty easy on this Honda to as I say that, I can't get the clip on. get these clips back on. They come off easy. I gotta switch sides with you because I'm right-handed. I gotta get my hand in there somehow. And there it is. You can hear them all click on. So your air filter's good. While we're in here, we'll fill up the windshield wiper fluid thingy. I always use the Rain-X because, I don't know, I think it just works better than the other ones. Maybe it does, maybe it's a myth. But anyway, we top this off. It's pretty easy. You can hear it. I think it's full. It is full, so that's good. We weren't too bad with that. And now we'll go do the cabin filter. Okay, so cabin filter, most all cabin filters are in here. This is really great at the oil change places. So you just push in on the sides and you can see these little rubber stoppers on this one. And there's one on the other side. You just push in and this thing just drops down like that. And then you can see the filter goes in this little thing right here. Put the light down just so I can figure out how to pop this out. So these you just push in on the sides with your finger and it pops right out. It's really easy. I don't know if you can see the cabin filter is pretty dirty on this one. See all the dirt in there? This is for the thing. So they charge you a ridiculous amount of money at the oil change place to do these cabin filters. I think it was like $18 for the Fram cabin filter, and we showed you how easy it is to take out. We're gonna go make sure we have the right filter, and then we'll show you how to put it back in. New filter. Some of them actually come with the housing. This one doesn't come with the housing, so you actually take the paper filter right out. You get your new one, which I don't know how it got dented. Anyway, it goes like this. And you will put your new filter in this little housing. What's going on with this one here? For some reason, it's a little off. Usually it just pops right in nice and easy. Anyway, pop your new filter in. This slides in just like a drawer. And there's two little clips, two clips. It pops in, and then you just push your sides in. And that's how you do the cabin filter. Really, really easy. Like I said, it was $18 for the Fram filter at CarQuest or whatever. All right, that's it. That's that. Okay, we're gonna do one last thing while we have it in the shop here. We're gonna do the air pressure in the tires because we're up here in the Northeast and it gets cold this time of year. It is December and you'll get a lot of times the air pressure light that'll pop on, and it's just because the weather changes. So first thing you do with the air is you look on your tire. I don't know if you can see it, but right here, it'll tell you the maximum PSI that this tire should be. You can also, we're gonna come on to the other side. Still on? Yep. You can also go on your door jamb, which if you can see this one's really easy to see. Look at tire loading information right here. It's got a picture of a tire on it, and it'll tell you your correct tire size, and it'll tell you the PSI. So the correct PSI that they suggest, that Honda suggests, is 32 PSI, and then it tells you even for your spare tire right here, and it'll tell you front and rear. These call for it to be 32 PSI for all the tires. Okay, so tire pressure, really important. You can usually just visually look at your tires and see, hey, that one looked low or it doesn't low, or the light will tell you. But tire pressure being even on your car is really important because if you get in bad weather or really wet weather and you have to hit those brakes, it'll cause your car to pitch in a different direction, which could cause you to spin out and get into an accident. So don't underestimate tire pressure. That is not important. It really is important. You can do it at any gas station. I know here in Connecticut, it is illegal, believe it or not, for them to charge for air, even though it uses electricity to make the air, but you can get it for free at any air place. And that's what we're gonna do. I think these are 40. We're probably gonna lower them down, but make sure your air pressure is even. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful to you, because this is what we do at Kelly's Lawn Service when it rains. We fix our stuff, and we have a lot of stuff. So hit that like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Have a great day.